So now we have cloned the repository, and if you go and check the status of the repository local branch, it's developed branch and it is updated. So let's say this is actually a Node.js application. So let's see how we can run this Node.js application. For that, we have to go to the, you can go to the README file, and all the instructions are there. Since this is a Node.js application, we have to first install the dependencies. So let's first install the dependencies using npm install, and the dependencies are listed in this package.json file. And we are using all these packages as the dependencies, and it's installed. So those are available in the node modules folder. So next step is to configure some variables, environment variables. So we have to set the client ID, client secret for the OAuth authentication, and we also have to set the login redirect URL. So the GCP will redirect the user after the successful login to this particular URL. And then also we also have a secret key for session, and we also have a port to start the Node.js application. So I already have this in the .env file. So what I will do is I will source the environment file, and now these environment variables are available. And thirdly, we can start the server by using node index.js or npm run start. So now if you see here, as you see here, the server is started and running in port 3000. So that is what I configured in this environment file. So let's go to the port 3000 localhost. So this particular user is not logged in. So this is the login page. So we have the option to log in with Google. So let's now log in with Google. And for that, we have to provide our email address, and this email address has to be an authorized one. So I will log in with the email address, and I will also provide my password. And yeah, I have set up the two-factor authentication. I will enable this one as well. So after successfully logged in via the two-factor authentication, since we are using this application is not verified to this account yet, so we have to verify this application. For that, the application will list down the permissions. The Google will list down the permissions what this application requires. So it requires Google Drive access and Google Calendar access. So I will enable that access and continue to trust this application. Now the Auth0, so the authentication service Auth 2.0 has redirected the user to this callback URL, and from then it's the user is redirected to the dashboard. And as you see here, this name is retrieved from the Google API. After authentication, we can get the access token along with some user profile information. So this name is retrieved from there, and we have two options here. One is to upload some files to Google Drive, and second one is to fetch an upcoming event from the Google Calendar. So first of all, what I will do is I will upload some files to the Google Drive. So yeah, now the file is successfully uploaded. So if you go to the drive.google.com, yeah, this particular file is uploaded just now. So this is working. So this is actually happening via the Google Drive API. So along with the request, we have to send the access token which we received from the OAuth 2.0 login. And next thing is to fetch the upcoming event. So this is connecting via the Google Calendar API, and it will retrieve the late upcoming event from the Google Calendar. So currently there are no events, and let me go and add an event. So we can go to the calendar.google.com. And we can try to create an event. Yeah, now an event is created. So if I go and fetch it again, actually this login is expired. So I will, yeah, if I try to fetch this event, yeah, now the event is listed here. So yeah, this is about using the Auth0 user credentials, OAuth 2.0 user credentials, and Google Drive and Google Calendar API. So we can also log out from this session, and the particular user can log out, and uh, this is the login page. So this is about this demo. If you go to the, let's go to the code. So everything starts from this index.js. So we have used some express routers and some view packages along with sessions and passport module, also the file upload module. So first of all, what happens is all these things will be imported. So first we have middleware passport.js. So here we are using this passport Google or 2.0 package. So we are creating a Google strategy with the client ID and client secret from the environment variable. So these secrets and ID can be generated from the Google Cloud Console. So we also have to configure a login redirect URL. So after successful user login, the application, this particular URL will be redirected by the Google. So after successful login, we can get the access token, refresh token, and other profile related information of the particular user. This is the strategy, and then we have some serializer and deserializer function to save the user info in a session variable. So we don't need to uh, retrieve the user information with every request. We can save it in session and we can reuse the user information. So this deserializer function will take the variable from the session and it will put into the each requests of which are coming to the express function. So then if you go to the index.js, so this is where we are starting the application server. So the port is actually defined in the environment variable. So the particular port is used to start the server, and we also have initialized some EJS views, and we also set some static folder paths, and some session related initialization is happening here with the secret value. After that, we have to initialize passport and initialize the passport session. So that is done here, and we also have to set the user in the request.user. So this current user will be used in some other places. And we also use this file upload middleware. So whenever some files are uploaded, it can be accessed via the request object. And we also have home router and auth router. So all the paths starting from auth will go to the auth router, and the others will go to the home router. So if you go to the home page, it will go to the home router, and now the user is not logged in. So it will redirect the user to auth.login. So that is in the auth.js. So yeah, here the particular user will be redirected, and the particular user is not present in the session. So because there is no login happened yet. So what happens is it will render this auth.ejs template. This is an HTML template where we have this sign in with Google button, and when the particular button is clicked, it will redirect the user to this auth login Google. So it will go to the auth.js route, and it will go to here, and via the password module, we are authenticating the user via the Google account. So we have some scopes. We have to tell the Google that what are the scopes this particular user has access to. So we are using the Google Drive file access request, and we also require this Google Calendar access. Also we require this email ID to show the profile informations and the email addresses. After successful login, Google will redirect it to this particular callback route. So after successful login, we are redirecting the user to the dashboard. So that is in the home.js. So particular user will be logged in. It's already logged in. So this middleware will pass and it will go to the dashboard. And in the dashboard, we have some arguments. And first of all, these request.file, query.file, and calendar will not be available. So these code section segments won't be executed. And then we are rendering this dashboard.ejs with the particular these arguments with the Google ID and email and other profile etc related information. If you go to the dashboard.ejs, it is also HTML template, and we have three sections here. First one is here we have the logout button. So if the user clicks the logout button, it will go to the auth.logout, and the logout is handled here in the auth router. So it will use the passport function logout, and the particular user will be redirected to the home page. So then second thing is this file upload part. So we have a upload button, and that is configured to post to this particular upload URL. So once the file is uploaded, it will come to this home/upload URL, and it's a post request. So first of all, it will verify if the particular user is logged in, and this is an async function. We are using the access token which you received after logging in via the OAuth 2.0 protocol, and we set that credentials. And since we are using the file upload middleware, we can get the file details from the request object. And what we do is we create the file object in the Google Drive, and this is an await call. We have to wait until the file is created. And if the status is 200, the file is successfully uploaded. So we pass this query param file, and the value is uploaded. If it is failed, the value is not uploaded. And if there's an error, I also mark the value as not upload. So it will again go to this dashboard path. So this time, this particular query variable is there. So if it is uploaded, we are passing this additional argument of uploaded, and it will go to this dashboard.ejs, and this time this particular section will be executed code segment. So if it is successfully uploaded, we are displaying whether that the file is successfully uploaded, and if it is failed, we are displaying that the file upload is failed. And the third section is the Google Calendar. So we have a button called fetch upcoming event. So that, but pressing that particular button will go to this calendar URL. So it's in the router this home router calendar. So we are also using the same access token, and we are using the Google Calendar API here. So here earlier we used the Google Drive API, and this is where we use the Calendar API. Since the user can have multiple calendars, we only are interested in the first calendar, and we get the very latest event from the calendar, and we display that event in the dashboard. So we get the event starting day, time, and the summary. And if the event is successfully retrieved, we pass it via the query param. If it is empty, we pass it via the empty, and if the event fetching is failed, we pass it as failed. So we'll again go to this dashboard. This will be redirected to the dashboard, and this time this particular code segment will be executed. And if the calendar is actually successfully retrieved, event is successfully retrieved, we are passing these event details to the EJS template. So we are the dashboard argument. So if you go to the EJS template, this time this particular code segment will be executed, and we can see that the event details are displayed. These are the variables coming from the arguments to this EJS template. And yeah, that is about this demo, and that's all. You can, yeah.